microphone. There it is. All right. Cool. Why isn't this working, pray tell? There we go. Sweet. All right. So we're gonna start out with some interestingly basic games, and we will go from there. Doot doot doot. We'll start with Flintstones, because who never wanted to play the Flintstones movie Game Boy game? Me. I never wanted to play this. So, as you can see, you got a messed up screen. It will not work. The saddest of days. Well, let's see if we can fix that. I've yet to meet my match. Even the most busted of games I've been able to save so far. I mean, this don't look bad. Let's see if it'll focus here. There it goes. You can see a little on the bottom. You got these little black marks on the gold plating, the gold conductive plating. That's just years of scuffing, essentially. And there's a very simple method to cleaning these. And believe it or not, this method involves an eraser. So let's grab that. We're gonna get some isopropyl alcohol and a curtain swirl. Okay. And we're just gonna first rub this. Let's get a little zoomed in. Get a little closer. A little closer to the action. Never hurts. So yeah, you're just gonna take it. You're gonna lightly scrub horizontal. I like to do a little vertical pull down on each one as well. Don't want to press too hard. The inside of these cotton swabs do have like a this part's hard, right? Press down too hard, it'll poke through and scrape the conductive plating, which then will really make your day a bad day. So as you can see, I mean, we were dirty. And I do not think, by looking at it after that clean, we really need the eraser. You get a little closer. Like that is a lot better. It's not perfect, but all of that black stuff is gone, which is what we want. And we'll take a little bit of this deoxit here. Hi, what's up, Mijo? Nah, you can throw that away, sweetheart. Thank you. We're just gonna spread this. Across. Leave a nice little film of it behind. You don't want to take too much of it off. This is gonna protect it from further corrosion, as well as improve conductivity of those contacts when it's inside of the Game Boy. So that looked pretty good, so I'm pretty happy with that. I don't think we need to do anything more. So we're actually just gonna put it back together. Here, maybe. There we go. Grab the screw. Use our game bit. Ooh. Go left first till it threads in. There it goes. Screw her in. All right, perfect. Let's give this a college try. And will you look at that? We can now play the Flintstones. It's one of my, this was either my wife's game or my sister-in-law's game. I'm not sure which. It was one of theirs though. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. Oh yeah. Living out that fantasy right at the gate. A little bit of fan service, some bowling balls, and a brachiosaur. Alright, I suck. But there we go. 1 game down, 7 more to go. Next, another one of either my wife's games or my sister-in-law's games or both of their games. I don't know what the share ratio was for them when they were kids. Oh, well, you know, first we should show it not working. That'd be a good start. So let's take a look. That's a pretty one right there. That's when you know it's really messed up, is when you get almost a full black bar. So let's take it open. Get it open and take a look. Unscrew it with a game bit. So the way to open these is you slide down on the front, and you see it like it slides down. Then you can just kind of lift it out. And then we have our game PCB. Here, we'll move these off to the side. I'll keep this on screen so we know what we're working on. How about that? How about that? All right, so get a fresh cotton swab. Put some ISO on it. Hey, what's up, Snap? Sub Mimi. So, and we're gonna just do the same thing. Give it a nice horizontal scrubbing. Don't want to be too rough with it. You also want to get like kind of this like the bottom edge of the PCB here. Like I'm gonna swipe against it a couple times just to make sure we get that part too, because that part can be a little hard to get if you're not paying attention to it and giving it the attention it needs. And then just do my little horizontals, or I guess verticals, depending on the orientation of the PCB. Let's take a look at it. Awesome. Let that focus in maybe. There we go. Looks okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Come in with the deoxit. Just a little bit. Don't need to give it too much. And we'll spread it around ever so gently. You don't want to take it all off. You just want to get it nice thin layer on the contacts. Hey Snappa, could you type something? I forgot. I tried to set up my. Oh, is the camera messing up too? What's up, buddy?
Good night.
Oh, the chat's working. Okay, the chat is working. Night, buddy. Love you.
Love you too.
You're the best. All right. Oh no. Unfortunately, unfortunately or fortunately, I'm not quite sure which, I did wind up falling asleep, so that's good. Pretty quickly too, because I needed to. Turn it left, get that screw left, and get it seated in the threading before you crank it in. That way you're not rethreading it. Yeah, dude. Well, nanocharge is a big. He's not a nanocharge no more. All right, game number 2, Looney Tunes, initial clean. Oh, there we go. Two for 2. Get wrecked. Damn. All right, cool. 2 for 2. We like it. We like to see it. Next, we'll go for Miss Pac-Man. Legend. Legendary game. Definitely a garbled Nintendo. Nintendo, yes. Let's get this Nintendo game cleaned up. Alright, same thing. Come in with the game bit. Actually factual. Alright, let's take a look. What do we got here? Camera focus in. Maybe. There we go. That looks pretty good. I mean, it looks pretty dirty, rather. Like, you can see all these black lines here. This dirt wear from it being inserted into, you know, old dirty contacts. Let's get this mixed up, fixed up. Take the other end of my... Actually, this one's not too dirty. Actually, it's pretty dirty. We'll move on to the other side here. We'll wipe away that grime. Just go to town. Getting all that off. Yeah, nice and gunky. Nice and gunky. Okay. Come in with, hit it with the deoxit. The deoxit will act as a conductive layer, which is good. It'll help the game read better inside the Game Boy. But it also acts as a protective layer from further corrosion. So you want to leave a little bit on it. You also want to let it just kind of give it gentle wipes across so it takes off what it needs to take off, and then leave the rest. Bubsy. Hell yeah, Bubsy. I mean, I'll take anything. If it's broken, I'll fix it. I'll either keep it or sell it, depending on whether I want it, if it's not in my collection or not. Okay. Oh, we need to look. We need to look. Let's take a look. Yep, see, all those black lines are now mostly... yeah, they're fine. They're gone. There's still a little bit of like wear visible there compared to the other ones we've cleaned so far. So I'm curious to see how this will turn out. Oh, they were in his barn? That's right, I remember you telling me this story. Alright, so the gamble is an even stronger gamble. Let's put it back together. Turn left until you feel it sink in. And tighten her up. And let's take a look. How do we do? Did we get Miss Pac-Man working again? Hey! 3 for 3. We like that. Honestly, pretty good graphics. Not gonna lie. Solid as fuck. Oh, no. This is my day. I am him. I am Himothy. That's what you young kids say, right? All right, cool, man. 3 for 3. Next, Super Fighting Robot. Mega Man. Oh, Well, I guess I don't need to clean this one. I guess this one's already working. Abort mission? Tested this one yesterday. It could be because I have like fresh deoxit on my pins now as well, so it's gonna have that like improved connectivity. That means it could go into a different Game Boy and potentially not be as effective. So let's just take it apart and take a look real quick and just make sure that it's the contacts aren't looking super bad or anything. There's a little spot right here, but I mean, generally speaking, those look okay. But it could use a cleaning for sure. So let's give this guy a quick clean. Takes like 5 minutes per game. No point skipping out, if that. So isopropyl alcohol, Q-tip. Yeah, see, we're getting a little bit of dirt picked up here. These ones are actually in pretty good condition. This one I'm really interested in. I'm going to save this one for last because this one's all sorts of messed up. So I think that one's going to be the bread and butter. It might be something a little more than just a cleaning needed for that one. It has to be like tilted inside of the Game Boy and stuff to even work, and things get all funky and weird. So the fun part, we saved the best for last. All right, let's take a look at that now. Let's get a little dry off from that ISO. Still seeing that little let's look at that under the microscope. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's take a look under ye old microscope. Okay, well, I don't think there's much I can do about that. It looks like a little bit of a raised bit of the gold contact, the gold foil or whatever that is. I don't think that we're gonna do, I mean, let's get a different angle on it. That doesn't, yeah. That's not corrosion or anything. That is just either a less scuffed area for some reason that just got less scuffed, or something. But all of the wear on these look normal. That's not corrosion or anything like that. That's just this game was put in and out of a Game Boy a lot. This game has gotten a lot of play when you see that level of scuffing happening there. Which is good. It's what we want. We want to see video games be well loved. But we don't want to see them break. We want to see them be played for several more decades to come until the inevitable heat death of the universe, right? There you go. Twist left, thread it in, and then close her up. Now, I mean, we're going to test it anyways, but we know it works. There she blows. Innumerable hours that I can't remember. Oh my snap, oh my. Numerous hours spent playing this game. This game was rage-inducing as a child. Fuck you. As a small child, super hard. Super good though. One of these days I should go back to it and actually beat it. I never could get through Dr. Wily's area. Alright, how about some Wario Blast? I got this game for free from a lot that I bought. They just kind of threw it in. I actually had some really good luck with that over the last 2 months or so. Where they're like, hey, it doesn't work. Here you go. See if you can fix it. So, let's take a look at that. Well, they're not wrong. That is very much so. Hey, doesn't work. Whoa. See those black lines there? Came over the camera. That was a little weird. Little strange. A little strange. Alright, Oreo Blast. I mean, uh-oh. Nothing about this looks horribly off. They definitely, it definitely is a little dirty. But this might be something more interesting. I'm looking at the solder joints here. Everything looks good. It's like, could these capacitors have gone bad, maybe? I mean, I think they're capacitors anyways, because they say C there, but I mean, they look more like resistors, to be honest. With the bands like that, I don't know if they do capacitors with the bands like that. I've never seen it if they do. All right, come on, camera. Focus up, brother. Focus up. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of want to look at this one under the microscope. Let's take another look. All right, let's see here. Oh. You know how, oh. All right, so you know how I was talking before about this normal wear, right? Like you put the Game Boy in the game, or the game in the Game Boy, and it's normal to get wear on the contacts as you take it in, take it out, take it in, take it out. But these are exceptionally long bits of wear. Like, I'm not used to seeing them this far up the pad, up the contact. Like, look at this one. I think this is the ground. Yeah, this is the ground pad. Like, this is fucked. I mean, maybe. I can see that. I can see that. Like, Game Shark usage, because those are just longer than a normal. They're just longer than a normal Game Boy contact. They're shoving it really hard. I don't know. But let's not give up on it. Let's not give up on it. We don't give up on our babies. We give them a fighting chance before we give up on them. So we'll give it a quick clean. But that amount of wear gives me a lot less faith that we're gonna get through. I think that we could probably get a temporary fix. Time to give it CPR. I don't know if that's going to be the play, but we could probably get a temporary fix with it with the deoxit, because the deoxit, while fresh anyways and on it, it's going to give it a lot more conductivity for the short term. But I'm not sure if I came back to this cartridge after, even if it did work now, if I came back to it a month later, 2 months later, if it'll remain conductive and if it'll remain working. That is if this is a problem. Maybe it just needed this tiny little cleaning and everything's all happy. We can hope for the best. So let's put the deoxit on it. Let's give it a nice spread across the entirety of the pins. Very good. Very nice. Shizu-chan. Alright. Let's take a look at it again now. Like, maybe how much of it was dirt? Like, maybe a bit of it's dirt. Like, let's switch, please. Thank you. Nah, that's full on wear. That gold layer on the top there is conductive. And Not having seen very good days. But we cleaned it. We put the deoxid on it. Let's see if there is a little bit of life in this wonderful game, Wario Blast. Switch back to my other camera. All right, we're gonna put it back together. Screw in using our game bit. Turn left until you feel it kind of fall into place. Come on. You don't want to? I don't want to thread you. All right, whatever. Sometimes it just doesn't want to do it. Important to remember when you're screwing these in, they tighten real easily. And you can over tighten them very easily and make it so that they just kind of, strip them super easy, and then it's game over. That's not game over necessarily. Sometimes it's game over and it won't screw back in correctly. All right. 3, 2, 1. Hey. All right. Well, like I said, we got a temporary win. I'm still not 100% sure that this is a long-term fix. Yeah, this is Bomberman Wario. Hold up. This game's actually kind of fire. I need to sit down and play through this game at some point. Not now, but my man Wario and Bomberman. There's something to this. There is something to this. That's sick. All right, we are 5 for 5. Next up, Donkey Kong Land. Whoa. Let's give it a go. Okay. I guess it's just going to work. This is another one from yesterday that just didn't work. But remember, I've got fresh deoxid on this stuff, so it's just going to make things better. Deoxid is a phenomenal tool for getting things working, even when they shouldn't, and for making things better and protecting them and stuff. But it is also kind of a band-aid. Like, it's unclear whether or not things will keep being good and continuing to work after that deoxit kind of gets rubbed off over time. All right, let's see here. Let's give this a slight cleaning anyways. And it's got a factory battery on it, which is, what is this? Little piece of plastic. The fuck do you come from? Little piece of gray plastic from a Game Boy game? Oops. Maybe? Oops. I don't know. Now, this is pretty clean. I don't know why this one, yesterday when I was testing all that stuff, did not want to work. Well, we got a battery on here. It looks... Actually, that does not look factory. That looks like it was done in a shop. Let's take a look under the microscope. That looks like it was done recently by someone else. Oh yeah, look at that flux. Not a very good solder job either. They didn't clean up their flux afterwards. Yeah. That's not bad on the right, although I'm not sure how strong of a connection this actually has. That went all the way up the leg. That's pretty strong. Yeah. That went all the way up the leg, so that looks really good. But this one, I think they could have used a little more solder, to be perfectly honest. Going all the way up the leg? Oh, yes. That stream where I had my very first battery that I soldered, and it was a nightmare. All right, let's test. how much voltage this battery has. Is it good? What we want to see is somewhere around 3 volts. Oh yeah, we're still in a good spot. 3.27 volts. That is a healthy ticking battery. So it has definitely been replaced very recently, but not by me. All right, very cool. That. So that is good news. We do not have to replace the battery on this. And yeah, we are good. 6 for 6, although I don't think I needed to do anything with that one. All right. Perkman Gold. The majestic 3-toed sloth. All right, let's see here. All right, we got a jarbled Nintendo. Jarbled Nintendo. Cool. Time for the gold, and then the coup de grace. It's Pokemon Pinball, which I'm actually really excited to open, by the way, and get a look inside a Pokemon Pinball. Okay, we have Pokemon Gold here. First thing I want to do, let's check its battery. And just kind of see what our voltage is. We set our multimeter to alternating current 20. That's a fucking dead battery. That is a very, very, very dead battery. All right. So we know we need to replace the battery on this guy. That'll be another stream for another time. All right, let's take a look at the contacts. See if we can get this thing to autofocus on us. No, we didn't want to zoom out. We want to zoom in. And then let's focus. Maybe. Maybe. That's good enough. Looks okay. So I just recently cleaned one of these where I had to reflow all the solder joints on all the legs. That was a Pokemon Crystal though. This is a gold, but it's the same PCB, the KGD U10. All right, well, let's go with a clean first and see if a clean is all we need to do. And if not, we can go into a little bit of fact searching, fact finding. To see what is actually going on here. I have heard tale that a dry battery, like a very, very dry battery, will cause it to not work. So if that's the case, we will replace the battery. If this doesn't work from a cleaning, we'll replace the battery. And then if the battery is still, if with a new battery in it, it's not figured out, we will have to come back to this on a separate stream to reflow all the solder and see if that will fix it. We'll do continuity checks on all the pins to all the individual areas that the pins go to, and just kind of step-by-step debug through what is wrong and what's going on. How does the battery get dry? So these batteries are supplying a constant, very low current of electricity. Like I think it's like 100. I think what is this? 2025. So I think the 2025s like give like I think like 150 or 250 milliamps rather of current constantly to the memory chip, which I think on this one is this guy here, and that's just storing your data for your game save. So in order for it to continue to save your data, it has to supply a constant stream of memory. And so that's what it's doing. It's just constantly streaming power to it. And so over time, it's a limited, it is a limited source of power, right? So it is gonna over time run out of juice. And in this case, he is just a double check, but this is as juiceless as it gets. And easy way to check this, by the way, if you want to figure out how close your battery is to dying, you can just put your negative on, set your voltometer. Very important to get right settings, but you put your multimeter on the the V with the line over the 3 dots, and I like to set mine at just 20, and just put the 2 on negative, positive on positive. If this thing has juice, it'll show higher than 0.01, which is just dead. What you want to see a healthy battery of like these, you want to see like 3.2 volts, 3.3, somewhere in there. They're like a 3-volt battery, essentially. So you want to see about 3 volts coming out of it. If you see anything less than 3, it means it's starting to go a little bit. Anything less than 2, it's pretty 2.3, 2.4. You know it's going to be dying soon, and you'll want to get it replaced. There are ways to back up your saved data, so pay attention to your battery and look into ways if you really need to keep your save file to be able to save your stuff. All right, we did our clean. We're gonna hit it with the deoxit now. Once again, our favorite red juice. Don't drink it though, this is not fruit punch. Gently spread it across all the contacts. All right, step 1, does the clean fix the game? Usually the answer is yes. But I've noticed Pokemon games just kind of give out. I've had to fix a couple now, especially the gold, silver, and crystal variants. They all have the same, use the same PCB and the same components pretty much. Put in. All right, test number 1. Do you work? Nope. No, you do not. So you are going to be a much more interesting challenge. So let's get the soldering iron out. And replace the battery. This was a 2025. I have lots of those. I think I have an open one somewhere. I thought I had an open one somewhere. I do, right here, right here. All right, so we're gonna grab a 2025 out. So yeah, next step, battery. Let's see if a new battery will fix it, because I have heard people say that the battery can be the problem. I've never experienced that. Usually if this is a problem, it's a bigger problem than the battery being dry. But I guess if it's just that dry to where there's nothing coming from it, maybe. If it was reliant on that voltage somehow, I guess I could see that. What tip do I have on here? Oh, that's good. That one will work. Time for surgery, doctor. Ow. All right, we need our solder wick, and we need our flux. And we need more room in this tiny little bench. Let's put, well, let's first. Just make sure that my batteries are still good. We'll do it on camera here. Oh yeah, healthy battery. Healthy battery. Alright, so we're going to set that aside. We're going to unscrew you. Right, so let's turn on our soldering iron. Stay healthy. Always have a solder sucker. Extract those fumes however you can. Don't breathe that shit in as much as possible. Because that shit, it be toxic. Alright, so let's take the game out. We're going to put it over here. We're going to prep our cartridge. I know, right? Clear the table, Doctor. Clear the table. We'll start on this one because it's always a lot easier to get underneath this leg here on the side. Then just lift up a little bit, let that solder harden, and then move over to the other side. Oh, excuse me. Did the solder, oh my god, the solder hardened. Oh, you stop that, you. There we go. Alright, cool. Old battery off. Now let's just get that solder back onto the pad nicely, not peeking up. Alright, cool. Smelly. So we're going to clean it. We're going to solder, we're going to quick clean off. Do some isopropyl alcohol. Get that old factory flux off. And then we're going to put a little bit of our own flux on. And we're also going to put a healthy amount of flux on our solder braid. Just helps it flow up the braid a little better. So we can just get as much of it up as we want, as we can. All right. All right, got all that old solder off that one. Same on this side. Okay. That's good. Let's clean it. Now we clean it back off. Isopropyl alcohol. Get all that flux up while it's hot. Especially don't want to leave it on your pads or anything underneath the battery here, anything like that. You want to try to just Keep your workplace clean. Okay. Good. So we're just going to flux it up again. You need just enough. You don't need too much. You don't want flux flowing everywhere all over your stuff. And then we're going to put the battery. Positive, negative. Positive is always the top. Negative is always the textured part of the bottom. Positive is always the top. It'll have a plus at the top. Positive goes on this side, so we want to put the positive right there. And then we're just going to hold down on this, let it heat up both the pad and the okay. Nani. There it goes. Alright, we got it tacked in, but we need to actually adjust it a little bit here. Let it heat it up back up again. There we go. Oh, now it's fidgety, fidgety, fidgety. There we go, perfect. Let's do the same on this side. What am I doing? Just twist the thing. Come on now. Oh my god. Dear solder sucker, please do your job. Okay, so what we have here is you're noticing nothing's happening, right? And I've got a massive amount of flux or solder on my tip right now. It's because I did not put enough flux on for it to actually do much of anything. So we need to flux it up. Get a good amount of flux on there, and now watch when I apply to it now with that flux. The solder is going to leave the tip and go on. Oh my gosh, come on. There we go. Nice little solder bubble. That looks good. Looks damn near factory to be, if I had to say so myself, actually. Looks really good. All right, we're gonna tack the other side. I'm gonna put your soldering iron down on top of the leg. Apply the heat, let the heat sit for a minute. And then put the solder against the other end of the soldering iron. And that's going to allow the solder to kind of flow down onto the leg. And then what you got at the end there is a nice little solder thing. But I don't trust myself. I like to always double check my work under the microscope. So let's go take a look and see. Oh wait, while it's still hot. Hold on, while it's still hot. While the board is hot, while the flux is hot. Clean, clean, clean. put the wrong battery on here? Did I put the wrong battery on here? No, I did not. Why is it not sitting nicely? Huh. Oh, a faulty battery. We finished cleaning up the flux. Alright, so let's take a look at solder joints. Pretty good? Pretty good. Silver, shiny. That's what you want. You don't want dull. You don't want gray. You don't want cracks. You want shiny silver bubbles. That's true. All right, so we got our new battery in. Put everything. You know what? I have this open. I have this on. If I need to reflow this, let's just figure that out. And I guess we're just gonna go for it. So let's just take a look. Did we fix it? No flux on the back. I'm at least getting better at not putting too much flux. We're getting better at that. We take our small wins. Take our microfiber cloth here and just kind of clean up the rest of this flux. I still don't like how much flux is on this board. Oh, there we go. Microfiber for the win. You know, I wanna double check this. I just want to give this a double check. .3. You know, sanity check. Let's put this back together. The other reason you want to have all that flux off is flux can be corrosive and destructive towards like plastic, for instance. So if you leave too much flux on something, you could wind up severely damaging your game, your plastic, something. So you just want to be careful and not leave that flux sitting around, laying around. All right, there we go. It's seated. Now, moment of truth. 3, 2, 1, go! Ah! Okay. I didn't look at it under the microscope. I didn't look at the contacts, I don't think, under the microscope. Sampa, did I look at the contacts under the microscope? Did we inspect the contacts under the microscope? I do not think we did. But I also have the memory of, I don't know, I think I might be insulting squirrels if I said I have the memory of a squirrel, because they might have a better memory than me. Goldfish. Oh, ooh. What is that? Is it a hair? Like, it's definitely, I don't think it's the contacts. Contacts look fine. All right, let's look for immediate standout problems. Any of the traces look busticated coming out of there? Any lack of connection from the contacts? No, that all looks good. Okay. Let's check the capacitors next. Okay, I guess we check the capacitors next. Multimeter to continuity. All right, ground. Do we have a beep? Yes, we want a beep there, but do we have a beep here? No? Good. We have no beep here. Ground? Good. Ground? Wait a second. Okay. We wanted a beep there. I don't know why we weren't getting a beep there. This should be the ground plane right here. Beep. This should also be ground. Okay. Check this resistor. Oh yeah, this thing, I don't know why, but this specific one never shows resistance. I might not have my settings to the right thing or something. I do not know. Do not know. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why I can't ever get anything. Maybe that's not a resistor. I mean, it says it's R2. It seemed like a resistor to me. Anyways, we do not have a short to ground on the capacitors. So that's good. So that leads me to the same problem as the last Pokemon game. It just doesn't need just a reflow. I think it probably just needs a reflow then, because there's, I mean, short of going through and checking continuity on each trace, which I do not want to do. Again, that's a pain in the ass. At least not without. It'd be easier to just do the reflow, to be perfectly honest. All right, well, we've got another soldering adventure ahead of us for a later date. I'm not going to do that one tonight. Do not want to do that. So next time on Dragon Ball Z, we'll wrap up with a Pokemon pinball. Hopefully, simple fix. But yeah, I don't know what it is about this specific generation of Pokemon games and having this very, very, very similar issue, but it seems super common. And if this one also gets fixed with a simple reflow, I think I might start buying broken Pokemon games and just like, oh yeah, that's broken. I'll give you $20 for it and buy a bunch of Pokemon crystals for like $40 or something. If they work, I can get like 150 for each of them or some shit. That'd be great. I'd have to find somebody willing to sell them for $40, but All right, cool. Last one. Let's take a look. Pokemon Pinball. All right, no battery in it. No major signs of corrosion. Like, it's rusty in there. Oops, sorry. You can see it. It's a little rusty on the tip here. Not great. But I'm not testing this today. I'll test that a little later. Right now, I just want to get it working. That could also be another secondary project. Actually, I'm going to leave that off. Okay, we got 2 game bits on the front. And looks like they're on the front for this one. So, oh wait. Just for shits and giggies. Oh yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Garbled mess. Garbled. All right, after this one, Snappa, you want to do some Wanna do some raids? You wanna do some raids? Yeah, these Pokemon games be fighting. Down for some raids. Oh yeah. Alright, so how do you come apart? Alright. So it's like connected up here somehow. I don't wanna I need to be very careful. How do you come off? Kind of feels like, is it another slide down? Kind of feels like it, because when I slide down, I get the most movement out of it. Okay, there we go. Oh lordy. A lot of factory flux. I don't think this has been worked on before. Honestly, this is not in bad condition. I wonder how that little motor's doing. Vroom vroom, little motor, vroom vroom. All right, I mean, I'm almost 100% battery. Almost 100% sure that this battery is dead. Negative, negative, positive, positive. What's our battery at? Oh, will you look at that? This must not be this. This can't be. Oh. So maybe this isn't factory flux. And maybe what this is this was a busted game and somebody tried fixing it and couldn't fix it. Because it's starting to look that way to me. All right, let's take a look at these contacts here. Focus up, camera. Contacts are pretty dull, not very reflective or shiny. Maybe we can get away with a clean, but the fact that that battery is super, well, battery. The fact that that battery is super battery has me slightly concerned for whether or not this is going to be a simple task or not. Also, just out of curiosity, how does this PCB come out of the cartridge? I think I'd have to desolder the wires. Because I think I would want to just leave the motor in there. I don't think I would want to take the motor out. I don't want to rock too much on anything. But I'm also not seeing like a clamp or anything that should keep that in place. Yes, that battery is indeed battery. I'm seeing signs of, oh, it's so sticky. Yeah. I think that we had at one point, I can see here at the bottom, you can see the gunk there yourself as well. And this is like super sticky up here. Like, I think at one point we had a battery explosion in here, and these are replaced terminals. And we might have a bigger issue. But let's get it clean. And see if I'm not just overthinking this. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the problem is yet, really, to be honest. See how that's yellow and not gray? I mean, there's gray in there too, but you see how that's yellow? Whoever fixed this got flux on the contacts. Flux is non-conductive. So if there's flux on these contacts and you try to put it in, it's gonna be bad for my Game Boy, not good. But B, it is going to make it so that it's not gonna register or work. So we need to do a very vigilant job cleaning all these contacts off, get all this flux and dirt off of here, and I think the best way to do that is going to be swipe down, or swipe right in this case. Because yeah, so what happened is they were soldering the new battery on right here, and this is actually really close to the contacts. I actually kind of get it. I understand how that can happen, how you could get flux on the contacts from doing that, because the flux is liquid, right? That spreads. But this is why it's so important to, while the flux is warm after doing a soldering, to clean and get it up with some just a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, cotton swab, microfiber cloth, whichever one you want, whichever one works out best for you, and just get that stuff off of there and don't let it sit around. Some flux can also be corrosive if left on as well, and can cause some really serious damage. Luckily, I don't think that that's what we have here. I don't think that we had... Somebody at least used a proper flux. A no clean flux, I guess. But it can cause problems. And I'm still seeing like little black spots and stuff as well, and yellow. Still seeing yellow on fresh one, so we're gonna keep cleaning away at this here until that yellow stops showing up on the cotton swab. So this is where I like using cotton swabs more than like a microfiber cloth for stuff like this, because I wouldn't have been able to see this, especially on literally my yellow microfiber cloth. I would not have noticed that I was pulling flux off of these contacts. All right. I think I'm no longer pulling flux off of this. Let's take a look. Nope, just dirt now. It looks like a little bit of yellow there, but I think we are in a much better spot. All right, EO Kool-Aid, aka don't even joke about calling this Kool-Aid. Don't drink it. Deoxit's awesome, but it is not something you put in your body. But it is wonderful for putting on your game contacts to keep it nice and protected from contamination, corrosion rather, and to also increase the conductivity of the game contacts with your Game Boy. Helps both your Game Boy and the game stay healthy. You want to leave a tiny little bit of the residue on it. You want to leave a little bit of the film of the deoxit on. All right, so let's put this back together. So this needs to go in here. It needs to also, this is kind of a pain. Need to make sure I'm getting it in. Okay, there we go. So I'm not going to screw this together yet. I want to just give it a go. Hey, yo. That's all it was. Wait, nobody has a Pokedex entry? No Pokedex entry in this. So, my guess is it never got played. Because they changed, what probably happened is they changed out the battery, they changed the battery terminals for the Rumble. They changed out the battery, but they left the flux on the contact, so when they went to put it in the Game Boy to test it after they were done, it didn't work. I like it. We like it. So let us put this back together, baby! And call this one a successful 10th repair. So 9 out of 10 fixed and cleaned up. And I guess tomorrow I'm going to have a nice streaming session of reflowing the PCB of that Pokemon Gold and getting that up and functional. Oh, come on. Oh God. Oh, Lord. No, don't lose screws. For the love of all that's holy. Don't do it. There we go. Yeah, you said you never played Pokemon Pinball, though, Sampa. You absolutely should. You should. I might catch some heat for this, but Blue is the best version of Pokemon Pinball. You can play in a red field or a blue field. I always thought red field was too fucking hard to get anything done. Blue field was where it was at. Alright, man. I'm happy. I've been wanting to play this game. You know what? Why won't you work? Go in your damn thing. There we go. I'm gonna go get a AAA battery real quick, and I want to test to see if the Rumble feature still works, or if that is not working either. Play. That's what. Right there. I know. I'm so unprepared. Sonic Sonic Spinball? Yeah, dude, that shit was fun. I liked it. Alright. There we go. I'm a little unsure if it's gonna. That battery contact looks like it was corroded at one point. Someone desoldered it. Gave it a vinegar bath. Got a lot of it off, but not a full amount. Alright, let's get into a game. Blue is life. Oh! It rumbled, baby! Yeah! I'm gonna get me a sand shrew. Oh! Gotta make good use of that tilt feature. Oh my God, come on. This is why I like blue. You can just kind of do this like loop at the start there. Alright, I suck! Here we go, get up there. Hit them shelters. Alright, Sandshrew. You're mine. Catch! In the Japanese version it says, get! Alright. Cool, man. Rumble works, game works. I don't have to worry about this one. What else? Whatever they did, it wasn't game breaking. It's like it seems like they had a really, really, they were really close. They were really close with their repair. They just messed up by not being clean with their soldering. They just needed to clean up afterwards, and things would have been just fine. All right, so tomorrow we'll come back to this Pokemon Gold, and we will take it apart, and we're just gonna resolder all of the legs on all the chips, give it a full reflow, add a little bit of unleaded solder to it, or leaded solder rather, to it all, and just see if we can fix whatever's going on with it that won't fix. So that'll be tomorrow's project, but today 9 games cleaned and or fixed, and hey, not bad for an hour and 15 minutes. So thank you for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you in a little bit, Snap On, and we'll play some Arc Raiders.